Life Audio. I don't want to worship the list. I want to worship God. So how can I do that and be intentional about the amazing relationships and connections He's put in my life?
Feeling overwhelmed? Searching for assurance of God's presence? Meet An Untroubled Heart by Kara Stout, a 30-day morning and evening devotional designed to calm anxiety and help you find God's lasting peace. Each morning and evening, Kara's beautifully written devotions offer a reminder of God's presence and faithfulness, giving you the space to release your worries and focus on His steadfast love. Each devotion features a key scripture verse and a closing prayer, interwoven with stunning floral illustrations that make it a lovely gift. Written by a mom who understands the weight of anxiety, worry, and grief, this devotional invites you to make God your greatest companion and find rest in His loving care. It's like praying with a friend, guiding you toward hope, stillness, and trust. Find An Untroubled Heart today on Amazon and wherever books are sold.
Hey there, parents. Are you tired of the babysitter search struggle? Look no further. Welcome to KingdomCareSitters.com, where Christian families connect with like-minded sitters who share their faith.
I was searching for a reliable sitter who understands our faith and family dynamics. With KingdomCareSitters.com, I found the perfect match.
And guess what? You can discover sitter profiles, post jobs, and even schedule and book short-term or long-term care, all on the user-friendly website, KingdomCareSitters.com.
Plus, KingdomCareSitters.com lets you pay securely online. Whether it's date night, work commitments, or just some me time, Kingdom Care's got you covered.
As a sitter, I love being part of this community. I set my own rates, connect with amazing families, and make a difference in their lives.
Are you ready to find your perfect match? Visit KingdomCareSitters.com today, because when faith meets childcare, it's a match made in heaven.
Hello and welcome to the Encourager Podcast, where we have encouraging conversations to help you joyfully harmonize your home and work life. I'm your host, Rebecca Scott. I'm a wife, mother, designer, coach, and author. I'm here to help encourage and empower you to confidently make decisions that work for you and your stage of life, whatever that might be. Hello, encouragers. Today's podcast is brought to you by Just Thrive Probiotics, my go-to supplement to feel more energized and lighter. I also love the Just Thrive Calm supplement to keep my thoughts from spinning and to keep them more focused and in the moment. Use code ENCOURAGER to get 15% off by going to justthrive.com. On this week's podcast, we're going to talk about a concept that I've been mulling over in my head for at least 6 months. But when I heard it, I was trapped in how profound it was. And I kept repeating it to myself and writing down little notes as I prepared for this episode because I thought, this one really affected me. And I think a lot of you listening out there will really relate to this. And after I heard it, I had to start applying some practical things to help me understand it. And here's the phrase I heard. Efficiency is king, but it's a terrible God. What? Yes, efficiency. Guys, I have 300 plus episodes talking about efficiency and how much I love it. And I had read a book a couple years back about that efficiency is not always effective. And that one was a really good book read as well. But this phrase, efficiency is king, but it's a terrible God, was like, oh my gosh, it is so, so true. So do you ever feel like your worth is measured by how much you get done before noon? Think about it. Are you the to-do list people? Check, 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 check. Okay, totally relatable, right? The pressure we feel to always be on and productive, especially as women harmonizing work and home and kids and faith and everything in between, is really heavy. It's so heavy that I feel like the way to outwork it is just to do more. And I've been really challenged by that over the last couple of years and kind of working through my own version of burnout 3 years back. And I have a story to tell you that was like my pinnacle of just because it is efficient does not mean it is effective, and how it was beginning to be its own idol. It was a Monday. Now, Mondays for me in the studio are super productive. I love Mondays. I love Mondays because they are so productive. So I get all of the purses back from Brenda, who cuts them. I get to serge all of them, and I get to make all of the kits. So sometimes it's up to handling 3,000 pieces that day. 3,000 pieces. I love it. I get to be at my favorite sewing machine, the serger. I get to have my hands on the fabric. Hello. I love doing that. I get to make the kits, so I get to see how they come together with the hardware and with the zippers and the order numbers. Like, I love all of that. We do shipping on Mondays. I do laundry on Mondays. My mom comes for piano and then possibly activities or whatever. Usually there's not a lot of Monday games, thank the Lord, because there's enough production going on that day, but it's a full day. Now, I have obviously paired this together because it's productive. I just approach Mondays like this is going to be a super productive day. So I obviously like it. I paired it with laundry because it just works. And then, of course, on Monday evenings, it's doing the laundry, as I've talked about frequently. And then we also strip our beds and put the new sheets on so I can do all the linens on Tuesday, wash all the linens on Tuesday. So that's just another added layer to the home system of this Monday. So we have the picture. Maybe your Mondays are similar. I have a lot of friends who are like, they treat their Mondays like Fridays. That works better for them. More power to you. Me, Monday, productivity, key. I love it, right? Except when I had this Monday that I did all the things we just talked about, and I got it done by like 3 p.m. And I was like, go pick up the kids. What do I want to fill those 3 hours with? Well, I thought I could fill it with so many more things. And I did. I filled it with some extra things that I was going to do on Tuesday, and I got to do them on Monday. And I was checking off more lists and more gravy and more. It was awesome. Until I got to folding my laundry that night and thought, oh, we do need to do showers tonight for 2 of the gals. Got them in the shower, got them out of the shower while they were in the shower, folding the laundry, picking up downstairs a little bit, just tidying up a little bit. Went back upstairs, put the girls to bed, went back downstairs because it was time for Ivy's bedtime, my daughter, and I said, hey, I'll be right back down. I'm just going to go put away my laundry while you get ready for bed. She gets ready for bed. I go upstairs. I'm going to finish my laundry. I'm going to put my laundry away. I'm going to be done for the night. And as I was putting away my laundry, I noticed that my master closet was looking a little disheveled. And because I had so much more energy, because I was so efficient that day, I was like, I'm going to just straighten this up really quick. So I straightened it up really quick. Then I'd already got my laundry put away, but I straightened it up a little bit. Then I went into the living room and I'm like, well, I'm just going to straighten up here a little bit. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what about that podcast idea? I'm going to go write down that podcast idea. And then I wrote down the podcast idea and I was like, I can write a couple bullet points here, right? Okay. Meanwhile, Ivy has clearly already gotten ready for bed. She's laying in bed waiting for me. And I never did go down and say goodnight to her. I totally forgot the child. She went to bed on her own. Now, guys, I have all my own feelings about this. Please do not borrow this for your own world. And please do not shame me because I already heaped it on. I'm 6 feet under dirt. I felt so terrible. And it didn't dawn on me until I crawled myself into bed and was like, that was a productive day. I never said goodnight to Ivy. So what do? Go down there, wake her up and say, I'm so sorry. Yes, but she's sleeping. So I wasn't going to do that. Plus, I don't know if you know this, but do not wake a sleeping teenager. They don't wake up very pleasant. And so the next morning, I just apologized profusely in tears that I was so sorry. And she said, it's okay, Mom. I know you're just being efficient. Crap. It just became an idol. And it became something that my children know that is a high priority for me. But I want it to be a tool. I don't want it to be an idol. And so we talked about it. We talked about it a lot. And I talked to her about this phrase because I had already known this phrase when this moment happened. And I talked to her about I can't do it at the risk of not being able to be there for the people I love the most and for those moments. Because if I had it to do over, I would have put her to bed and we would have had an extra long conversation. Not to be efficient, but just to be with each other, to be connected. So that was my pivotal moment of some things have got to change. So I'm going to give you some practical things that we're going to talk about today. For me personally, in that moment, I applied these principles that we're going to talk about today a little bit. And just really, it's not necessarily always things that you can do because we are talking about efficiency. So I don't need to give you more things to do. However, this is more of a mindset shift in how I view things now, concentrating on different words instead of efficiency. Not just a play on words, but really being intentional instead of efficient. And that has helped me to be more present in the moments and to not forget the people that matter the most, even over the checklist. So efficiency should support your values and your mission, but not define them. Again, it's a tool. So it's going to support what our values are, which for me, it is my family and my work. And my mission is to make people more joyful and to see all their skills and their talents. But it's not going to define my values and my mission. I don't want to be defined by the most efficient person anymore. I don't want it. But I do want it to help frame up how I'm going to support my values and my missions. When we serve efficiency above everything, we lose connection with our people. We lose peace in our home, and we even lose creativity in our work. When it just becomes about checking the next thing off, we lose all those things. We lose our people, we lose our peace, and we lose our creativity. It's got to be a tool. We end up becoming machines and not ministers of the mission God has given us. I don't want to be a machine. And we all know we've gotten to that level. Some of us, right? I don't want to be a machine. I want to be a minister of the mission God has put before me. Okay, this story can be a little bit triggering because we've all heard it in multiple different renditions of it, but I want to talk about it a little bit. And this is from the book in the Bible, Luke 10:38 through 42. It's the Mary and Martha story. Need I say any more? We've all been asked, are you Mary? Are you Martha? Okay, listen. I'm clearly Martha. I am Martha, but I'm Martha with a joyful heart. So that's my little caveat here. But now I'm trying to be more like Mary in the intentionality. Okay, so again, no guilt over thinking of the story and identifying quickly who you would be. But I can definitely pull out who I want to become. And I do want to become more like Mary because Mary in that moment was intentional. Martha was definitely being efficient and she was being productive, but she was not being present and she was not being intentional. And Mary was. Mary was being intentional, knowing full well that the pieces would come together when it was time to serve the people. And I can't help but think, and this is what I want you to ask yourself when you're done listening to this today, just to think on, right? Not necessarily practical to do today, but mindset shifts is, would you have missed the moment with Jesus in the sake of efficiency and productivity so that once it got done, then you could spend time with him? Would you have missed the moment? Now ask yourself this question. Is my obsession with getting things done causing tension in my home or resentment in my heart? And this sneaks in sometimes with our spouses when we know we can do 10 things to their one. I'm clearly speaking for myself here. And then I find myself getting resentful when 8 of the 10 things that I got done didn't actually have to be done then. I just wanted to do them. Okay? Is that what's going on in your home? Is that what's going on in your head and in your heart? Third question, where am I sacrificing connection on the altar of efficiency? Those 8 extra things that I was doing, who in the family right there could I have spent time connecting with instead of doing those 10 extra things? Hey, encouragers, hope you're enjoying this episode. We'll be right back after this short break.
Feeling overwhelmed? Searching for assurance of God's presence? Meet An Untroubled Heart by Kara Stout. A 30-day morning and evening devotional designed to calm anxiety and help you find God's lasting peace. Each morning and evening, Kara's beautifully written devotions offer a reminder of God's presence and faithfulness, giving you the space to release your worries and focus on His steadfast love. Each devotion features a key scripture verse and a closing prayer, interwoven with stunning floral illustrations that make it a lovely gift. Written by a mom who understands the weight of anxiety, worry, and grief, this devotional invites you to make God your greatest companion and find rest in His loving care. It's like praying with a friend, guiding you toward hope, stillness, and trust. Find An Untroubled Heart today on Amazon and wherever books are sold.
Hey there, parents. Are you tired of the babysitter search struggle? Look no further. Welcome to KingdomCareSitters.com, where Christian families connect with like-minded sitters who share their faith.
I was searching for a reliable sitter who understands our faith and family dynamics. With KingdomCareSitters.com, I found the perfect match.
And guess what? You can discover sitter profiles, post jobs, and even schedule and book short-term or long-term care, all on the user-friendly website, KingdomCareSitters.com.
Plus, KingdomCareSitters.com lets you pay securely online. Whether it's date night, work commitments, or just some me time, Kingdom Care's got you covered.
As a sitter, I love being part of this community. I set my own rates, connect with amazing families, and make a difference in their lives.
Are you ready to find your perfect match? Visit KingdomCareSitters.com today, because when faith meets childcare, it's a match made in heaven.
So these are a couple of things that I've been taking away right now is I shut the machines off. I always shut my machines off. That means my sewing machines for my business, Rebecca Scott Designs, where we design purses that are both stylish and organized. Please check them out. It's amazing. I shut my machines off on purpose at 6 p.m. I haven't really altered from that much. If I do turn them on, it's probably to alter a pair of shorts for somebody, but I usually keep my machines off at that unless it is Christmas time and I ask for permission for that. So I've always been in the practice of doing that, but now I'm also getting in the practice of turning off my phone, not even silencing it, like turning it off so there's just no temptation there because I want to choose connection. So whatever I can do to remove any of the distractions, which could be my sewing machine or my phone, or maybe it's the TV for you. What does it look like to choose connection over the efficiency? And what are the things around you that you can shut off, in quotations, to help you choose connection in the moment instead of efficiency? And then ask yourself this: what's driving your to-do list? Is it God's purpose or the hustle culture? The hustle culture is so real and it's so easy to get caught up in it. But what is driving your to-do list? Is it God's purpose for the roles and the stages that he has laid before you? Because we cannot deny that there's a lot of things on our list that do still have to be done. He's given us many amazing people in our life and amazing roles. So there's some of it that still has to be done. But how much of your list is actually just because of hustle culture? So I look at my list and I ask myself, okay, what is necessary on this list? And what on this list gives me joy and momentum for serving these roles? And it's not just a check mark. Like, what on this list is actually just a check mark because it feels really good, right? And I can't possibly answer for all of our unique situations out there, but I know you can when you sit really quietly and think about it. What's driving your to-do list? Where is there intentionality on it? Where is there connection on it? Where is there just hustle and burnout on it? Zoom out and look at your to-do list. Then I want you to ask yourself this: what is my main to-do? Replace the idol of efficiency with the invitation of intentionality. Okay, these are those words that I was telling you about. How can I be more intentional and less efficient? And that's just driving that connection with my loved ones. We're going to choose presence, peace, and progress that aligns with our faith and our current season. Because like we said, there's still things that have to be done. But how can I choose presence and peace and progress? How can I choose those things to align with this current season? So that might mean a sticky note on your agenda sheet. That's my planner. It's a free resource on the encouragerpodcast.com. Or maybe it's a sticky note in your bathroom, or maybe it's a sticky note on top of your planner. But really put down there, how am I going to choose intentionality today over efficiency? I will concentrate on. What is it you're going to concentrate on? So my sticky note that I have on my agenda sheet and then I have on my bathroom mirror is I will concentrate on intentionality instead of efficiency. And so every time I get that buzz where I'm like, I have 10 minutes, I could totally get that done. In fact, I tell you guys all the things you can do in 10 minutes. It's amazing. So if you have those 10 minutes and it really works out, go ahead, go for it, sister. But if you have those 10 minutes and maybe you could choose connection or being more intentional, maybe you should choose that time. So this just reminds me to do that. Okay, like I'm going to concentrate on being intentional instead of efficient at this. And here's a truth I want you to remember. Your value isn't in what you accomplish. It's in who you are and who you're becoming in Christ. I know it's so easy to read that and so hard to apply that. I'm a 3 on the Enneagram. Big surprise there. They are the achievers, right? So like I really have to concentrate on the message in my head and what God has made me to be. My whole value is not what I can accomplish. It's in who I am and who I am becoming in Christ. It's who he made me, not how much I can get done. Okay, so to practically apply some of these new things that we are thinking about, I want to give you some examples. I want you to pick one system of the 5 systems we talk about frequently: me, food, home, work, and family, okay? And I want you to just really ask yourself this: where have I made efficiency the king instead of the tool? Okay, so for example, maybe in your food system, the meals are fast and they're well planned, but they're not really making connections because you're just eating them on the go, which, believe me, some of these are just going to happen sometimes. Or you're serving it quick at the island table, but maybe you could actually have the same fast meal, but you serve it at the dining room table so there's more eye contact and more intentionality around it. This one we do. Even if it's just 3 of us, I try to make sure that we sit at that dining room table so many times a week because there's something very intentional about it, and everyone relaxes when we're staring at each other at the dining room table. So that's just a small thing that is still, it's not necessarily efficient all the time because the dining room table just feels more formal and like you have to pick it up and stuff, but I prioritize it because it's very intentional. What would that look like for you in your food system? How can you like knock off a little bit of the efficiency of it to be more intentional about the system? In our family systems, are your traditions too locked in? Like they're so locked in that this is what you do, but the truth is some of your family members don't like that. They don't like that version of the tradition after this many years. Is that just because it's efficient and you know how to do it? You know how to always camp at that one spot, but what if you tried a new adventure? What if you're more intentional about creating new memories in different places? I mean, that's one example of taking the efficiency out of the family system and zooming out and going, okay, what would be more intentional in this system? For us, I love game days on Sunday, meaning board games or card games. That's what I grew up with. It was awesome. I wanted to implement that into my own system. And the 2 boys in our family just buck the trend every time. They do not like it. I'm like, can we just be intentional about game time? And they're like, but the games that we wanted to play, they didn't want to play. Until I got less rigid about the efficiency of having game day on Sunday and was like, well, then what do you want to do? They want to play beanbags outside or basketball. I'm like, oh, that's still game time. We're just going to go outside. And I was like, nope, we're going to play cards. Like, this is what we do. And then they didn't want to. So then there was like all this like silent anger and like huffing and puffing. When really, if I would have just zoomed out and been like, okay, what's being intentional about the family? What do we all want to do? I could have prevented some of that. So for your family system, ask yourself, how could I be a little bit more intentional about my family system and less making it about efficiency? And that is the one system of all of them that you've got to be really careful that the efficiency isn't an idol, but it's really about being intentional in the moment, using it as a tool, not the idol. This one's kind of funny, but for my me system, something that dawned on me, I'm like, oh boy, yep, this is where efficiency is becoming the king and an idol rather than me just enjoying it, is my bath time. So I take a bath on Tuesday night, no matter what. I don't care if the track meet is till 10 p.m. at night. Like, this mama takes a bath on Tuesday night. It's part of my me system. It's part of how I recharge. But during my bath time, I was like, oh, wait, I could listen to that podcast I want to listen to. I could shave my legs. Oh, I did want to read that article in the handyman thing to see if I want to create my own sauna. Oh gosh, and then maybe I should do that red light thing. And I did get a mask for my friend. Okay, so you see what's happening here? Then all of a sudden, the bath time had like 6 things that I needed to do during it because, I mean, that's just efficient. I might as well get them all done at once as long as I'm blocking and pairing it together. You see what I was saying? So then I was like, stop, bath time. That's what Tuesday night is. Sometimes if I'm feeling like, yeah, I do want to do a couple things at once. Okay, do a couple things at once, but only a couple, not all 6 of them. And sometimes I literally just run the water and sit in it, and that's enough. No music, no phones, no anything, just like enjoying it. So giving myself the permission not to make my bath time efficient was a big game changer for me. Okay, for your home system, this is a system that ends up being very efficient when you get it really dialed in. And it's amazing because it's just such a safe place to land when your home system is efficient. However, one of the things that I started practicing is just because I can fold laundry and I can listen to a podcast or I could call a friend. I could do all those things while I do my laundry. I decided that my child folding laundry right next to me might not want to listen to that podcast, but might actually want to open up a conversation with mom when I'm available. And so I stopped it. I stopped making that phone call to a friend during laundry time because 2 of my kiddos fold their clothes right next to me. And I stopped playing a podcast, even if it would have been one that they wanted to listen to. I stopped doing that. And I started just folding the laundry and standing there, folding it. And all of a sudden, they start opening up to me about more things about school. And we have a lot of conversations. So I really love the connection that I've been able to form with my girls by being present. But even just that time during laundry time really changed things. Rather than being efficient about doing 2 or 3 things at once, I was intentional with my daughter so they could open up. And it's really awesome, the things that they want to share with me. I can't even remember any off the top of my head, but I know I was present during the moment and I'm being intentional about the connection with them during our home system things. Okay, now for your work system, this is a way that you can think about if the efficiency is becoming an idol or if you're going to be more intentional in your work system, okay? I can edit an email flow or an email funnel pretty quickly. Like I can see exactly where I want it to be. I've got a great program that we use. We use Klaviyo and Kajabi on a couple different projects. I love them. I can actually edit those emails fairly quickly, but I could do that and that would be efficient because I know how to do it, right? But is it actually effective in this case? Like, is anybody taking the email funnel? Like, is the funnel even active right now? And when it is active, is it getting any click-throughs? That means when they click on the email and go through. Like, yes, I could edit it very quickly, but do I actually need to? Like maybe the funnel isn't actually working and it's not that I need to edit it. I should just stop using that funnel. So zooming out on my work things and asking like, yep, I could definitely make that more efficient, but is this system even needed? Am I pouring my attention to something that doesn't even move the needle? And so I don't even want to be intentional on it and I don't even want to be efficient on it because it's not being used. So just asking myself frequently during my work system, yes, this is efficient, or if it's not, making it more efficient. But first asking like, do we need this? Like, is this worth our time? And then looking at the data to really decide, okay, we do need to make this better, or we do actually need to let this go. What would that look like for you guys in your work systems? Like what parts are super, super efficient, but you're like, wait, that's actually not even effective anymore. And I don't want to be intentional about that one platform. So let's stop doing all this effort towards whatever platform it is that isn't performing because you're being intentional about something that's not even moving the needle. So just zooming out and asking those questions. So in all kindness, I just want to remind you, you're not failing because you didn't finish the list. You are not failing because you didn't finish the list. You're learning to be faithful with the time and the talents God gave you without worshiping the list itself. What would it feel like to make that list, circle the top 3, and let the rest go? You're intentional about the 3 that came to the top that you knew you needed to accomplish. And then afterwards, you are more connected and more intentional about the other roles and the other things in your life. We have to stop worshiping the list itself. I'm standing alongside with you. I'm going to hold your hand. You're going to need to squeeze my hand frequently as I really suffer with efficiency being king, but I'm working through it. And I can tell you this many months later and this many months later practicing it, it does start to shift. I start to look at things much differently about how to be intentional and not just efficient about it. It will make a slow shift, but I invite you to pray about it. God, help me. I don't want to have any idols before you. Point them out to me. Make them so obvious it hurts. Like my story about Ivy, it hurt so bad. It still hurts. But darn if it doesn't remind me, I don't want to worship the list. I want to worship God. So how can I do that and be intentional about the amazing relationships and connections He's put in my life? I know you can do this, encouragers. This week, let's share with one another some of our examples from the 5 systems of when we're being just too efficient. And if you can't see it, put it on direct messages on Instagram or put it on our Facebook so that we can see and I can help you alongside. Like, okay, yep, I've been there, or I would suggest this. I love to be able to answer direct for all of your unique situations. Let's hold each other accountable. The list is not the goal. Intentionality is the goal. Connection is the goal. Efficiency is king, but it's a terrible God. So let's walk through this together. Until next time, encouragers, we got this. Thanks so much for tuning in. If the Encourager podcast has helped or encouraged you in any way, please subscribe to the show and leave a 5-star review. And then help us spread the message of encouragement and hope by sharing the podcast with others. Ready to bring more organization and joy into your life? The Encourager Academy helps you harmonize your home and work life through our online course and coaching programs. Our 5-system approach, me, food, family, work, and home, tackles your biggest obstacles, offering lifetime access to video lessons and guided worksheets. Learn at your own pace with practical tools and strategies. Enroll now at encourageracademy.com and use code WeGotThis for $50 off.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, Planning your finances is bigger than just money. We help you put your plans into motion and faith into action so you can do more for the ones in your heart. Because sometimes all you need to make a difference is someone to help you make it happen. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.